Yaha. It's Monday. For those who don't know me and came in with Pupper, welcome. Thank you again for the raid. My name is Vicky_Turret. Underscore is my middle name. I forget it a lot. And I am a directionally challenged robot with the memory of a goldfish. I stream games on Mondays and Wednesdays, and I draw usually on Fridays, although lately I've just been playing more games. I hope everyone is doing well. It is Pride Month. Yay! Happy Pride! Today we are going to start. Well, this year I wanted to do visual novel Pride Month. So I'll be playing a ton of visual novels, and at least the ones that I have lined up are all Yuri. We'll see. There's also one that is Theo, I think, but I need to double check if I can stream that. I'm actually not sure if I can stream this one, the first one that I wanted to do, but we'll see. Oh, hey, hi, Azzy. I hope you're doing well. Yeah. So, let me move over to the game screen. You're struggling with art, but you're getting there. I believe in you. You got this. Okay, so let me adjust myself a little bit over here, and then a very cute cat is in his pod, so he is up there now. At least he was earlier when I was checking. Not sure where he went now. I believe in you, Izzy. As long as you are having fun and you created and you tried, I believe. Gonna move the game a little up. So this is Our Bad Ending. It's by a mutual of mine. It's supposed to be a pretty short visual novel. Some safety warnings before we actually go in. This game is called Our Bad Ending. There are only 2 endings and they're both bad. And trigger warnings. This contains graphic violence and gore. There are depictions of abuse and homophobia. There is partial nudity, non-frontal, and sexual themes are also present, though they are not explicit or graphic. There are also a few jump scares. This is supposed to be a half slight horror. Slight horror game. No, we shall see. As you can see, some gore. Just a little bit. So please take care of yourselves. Warning, this game contains violence, gore, depictions of abuse, and homophobia, as well as sexual themes. Please don't push yourselves too hard. And this was made with Ren'Py, and I am very impressed with Ren'Py, because it's Python. Especially how far it's gotten since when I first took a look at it. Look at the UI. You can customize so much now. It's very, very cool. The night was sweltering, warm with the heavy humidity that sank into my clothes. I feared that reaching to put on our shoes would wake someone, so we snuck out of the camp barefoot. Have a good lurk, Ozzy. Yeah, please take care of yourself. Don't push yourselves too hard, especially when it comes to heavy things like this. But I barely noticed the earth cake between my toes. Instead, I was focused on her hand, warm where it was wrapped around my own. I let her lead me along to the forest at the edge of the campsite. Kira, do you have the string? I blinked, then felt around in my pocket for the spool of red thread. I'd taken it from my home economics kit before we left for the trip, along with a small pair of scissors. Yeah. We had first discovered the ritual on a blog. There had been many, ranging from confusing to downright morbid. But when we landed on this one, it felt safe enough to try. After all, we just had to tie a red string to a banana tree. It always starts with rituals, doesn't it? Connect that same string to our pinkies, and make our wish. Remember, we have to make the same wish or it won't come true. Yeah, I know. Best friends forever. I nodded to show her that I had understood. I mean, returned a smile, gentle and sincere. Even in the dark, where I could barely make out her features, the gesture made my chest tight. Then we both lowered our heads and clasped our hands together again. Make the wish in your heart, the blog had instructed. My heart thundered in my chest. I mean, wished for us to stay best friends forever. And I wished for her to be mine. Whatever demon or spirit that was supposed to grant our wish never did. More than a decade later, Eileen and I are neither together nor best friends. At least, best friends probably see each other more in person than on Instagram. Instead, she's been seeing this guy for 5 years. Her smiling faces pressed together along with the caption teases me. Anniversary chalet with a bay. I can already see how it will all go from here. Soon they'll get engaged. Then they'll apply for a BTO flat, get married, and move out together. It's the ever-popular Singaporean dream of building a nuclear family. I mean, I'd always wanted her own place, so I should be happy for her. The bitterness turns in my stomach. Her boyfriend's smile taunts me, reminding me of what I can't have with her in this stupid heteronormative country. I close the app. Years ago, despite everything, I thought we had a chance. I thought that if life just meandered and turned in the right way, if we were stubborn enough and lived on our own rules, we could have our happy ending too. Now I don't know anymore. I think of that ritual. If it had worked, would it have saved or doomed me? A tired sigh consumes me and I close my eyes. It's too much for tonight. I don't want to spiral into this again. I'm indoors, but there's sand beneath my feet. It must have followed me from the beach, stubborn even as I walked for miles, clinging to my soles to finally make it into my home. But this is not my home. I'm in someone else's house. There's a stench in the air. The smell of a mess that had not been cleaned up, of something left out to rot, something resembling... Oh, hello. It was a dream. As I shake off the grogginess, I realize my phone is ringing. It must be the middle of the night. I frown. Calls this late are never good. I mean, why would she call me? Despite the oddity of the call, my heart swells with fondness at the thought of her on the other side. Without sparing another moment, I accept the call. Tara? Tara, are you there? She sounds frantic, her voice breathless and pitched. I'm here. I'm here. What's wrong? Oh my god, Tara! The line cracks, movement muffling the receiver. As I strain to hear her, I realize in horror that Huimin is crying. Calm down. Tell me what happened. David and I had a fight and I pushed him by accident and then he just... Can you come to the chalet, please? I don't know what to do. Okay. Can you text me the address? I'll go now. Yes, I'll text you. You'll help me, right? Of course. We're best friends. Hi, Timpy. How are you? Welcome to Doom Yuri. Thank you for dropping by. Yes, please lurk if you need. Thank you for dropping by. I love this mutual's art, so I'm very excited, and I am slightly scared. I don't know why it said that. We haven't even acknowledged that in years. Thanks, Shira. After the call ends, I stare at the screen, letting it sink in. Something had happened between Huimin and her boyfriend. Something bad. My first thought was that he had hurt her, but she said she had pushed him. A dark, malicious thought began to take root in my head. Are things finally turning in my favor? Did the demon coiled in the trunk of that banana tree hear my wish after all? My phone pings, startling me out of my thoughts. A few texts had come in from Huimin. The first one was a badly typed address, followed by another text that corrects a few typos while also making new ones. Finally, a third one comes in with everything laid out corrected. This one, she says, sorry. I fire a quick text back to acknowledge it, then move to get changed to leave the house. At this hour, the buses and trains have long stopped running. The cab is too expensive. I grab my bicycle instead. Bring a shovel with you. I know the chalet is about 20 minutes away by bike. It's an old establishment on East Coast Park, popular for barbecues near the beach. I've been there many years ago, as part of our secondary school class gathering. It was supposed to be a fun sleepover with everyone, which in theory was exciting, but became a huge mess in execution. Eventually, snuck over to my house and slept over there instead. I hated the class trip, but our own sleepover felt special. That was when I stopped my thoughts there. I've arrived at Huimin's chalet. It's dark, but I can make out the villa number beside the door. It's one of the last few villas at the edge of the property, closer to the forest than the beach. I leave my bicycle by the side of the road and walk up to the door. I knock 3 times. It's me, Shira. The door unlocked, and Huimin peers out. I'm taken aback by the blood soaked into her clothes. Huimin? Shira? She reaches for my hand, my arm grabbing on tightly. Her nails dig into my flesh as she trembles violently. I can trust you, right? Promise me you won't call the police. Promise me, please. The words tumble out of her, a desperate and incoherent plea. My mind is whirring. Are you hurt? Huh? I reach out with my other hand, pushing back her unkempt hair to look at her face properly. It seems like there's blood everywhere, even splattered on her face. It makes me sick, thinking any of it could be hers. The blood. Did you get hurt? Finally realizes what I'm asking about. She peers down at her shirt, seeming to take in her own appearance with fresh shock. It's not mine. Okay. I breathe a sigh of relief. But, Shira, I did something bad. Please don't call the police yet, okay? I didn't mean it. I really didn't mean it. You'll help me, right? Yes, we are going to bury your dead boyfriend in the backyard. Her tear-stained face tugs at my heart. Whatever conscience I had crumbles easily in the sway of her play. I have a slow, sinking realization, like an anchor doomed for the ocean floor, that I was ready to do whatever she asked of me. Of course, I'll help you. A small relief blooms on her face, but quickly disappears as she leads me into the villa. Her face! Okay, we're going to see if I can see here. And then, here we go. He's here. Pauses in the doorway leading to the living area. It's the scene from my dream, but crystal clear and real. The room is in disarray, furniture upturned and thrown from its original place. The remnants of a fight. David has collapsed headfirst into a glass table. Shards exploded and littered over the floor with blood pooling under his body. Did Huimin do this? Beside me, a loud gasp escapes her. Oh my god. Oh my god. Shira, did I kill him? I hold my breath, heart hammering in my chest as I approach the man. The glass crunches under my shoes and blood sticks to the soles. This close, the blood stuck in his hair and skin is dark and viscous. Something vile and utterly wrong. I knew the answer before I pressed 2 fingers to his neck, that there would be no pulse. He's dead. Oh, screams, chest heaving like an animalistic reaction. I whirl around, pushing her hair back to look at her face. She looked pathetic, pale and trembling as she all but fell apart. Look at me. I promise that I'll help you, right? She nods slowly. I'll help you. Let's bury him and then clean up. Okay. I tug on Huimin's arm, helping her up to her feet. She pointedly avoids looking at David again, rifling through a few drawers before pulling out large black trash bags. I let her handle his feet while I dealt with his bloodied head. Together we wrapped the body in layers and layers of black plastic until we could see neither his skin nor the clothes on his back. We dragged the body out to the back. The chalet sits on the edge of the property, facing out into a forest. Grass had overgrown in neglect, long and spindly at our feet. Let's bury him here. I dug my hand into the earth, prying grass and soil away. It's long, arduous work, toiling away with nothing but our bare bodies. Maybe we should have scoured for tools in the house, something to use as a shovel. But as I peer over at Huimin, the bare motion seems to feel like repentance. I don't speak a word to her. I just keep digging, nails growing black with dirt and skin turning bloodied. We paid, together. When at last a large enough hole appeared, we pushed the body in and covered it up. The room also needed cleaning up. Huimin gathers a broom to sweep up the glass shards that had flown to every corner of the room upon impact. I scrub blood off the tiles, turning an old rag pink. I think we're done. Huimin stares at me wordlessly, eyes blinking in a daze. I realize her blouse is still soaked with blood, the substance caked into her hair along with dirt from the backyard. Her face is blotchy with dry tears, sweat pooling at her neck. You should take a shower. Mimi reaches out, fingers closing around my jacket. You too. I wasn't sure what she meant or what was going to happen. I wasn't sure up till we were shuffling into the bathroom together, shedding our clothes and stepping into the shower stall where the hot water poured down both our backs. You can go first. The phrase lingers at the tip of my tongue, always on the verge of being voiced before I swallow it down. Something about the way Huimin had closed her fist over the lapel of my jacket. The way she tugged on my arm to lead me into the bathroom. The way she loosened my hair tie and pulled my ponytail apart. I couldn't say it. Instead, I grasped at the straws presented to me, fingers threading through her fine black hair. Doomed yuri! I'll help you wash your hair. Okay. As the soap ran down her back, I noticed purplish bruises blooming on her back. They were stark against her fair skin, big patches that seemed deliberate rather than accidental. Though as Huimin shivered, I wondered if she would want to talk about it at all. Click save. First decision. We're not going to talk about it. Do you remember when we were in primary 4 together? I got bullied and you had to wash my hair for me, just like this. Oh, yeah, you were much more timid then. And you were unhinged. I mean, that sounded soft, humorless laugh. Yeah, things were so different back then. I remember I got called to read aloud in class. Back then, I had a hard time projecting my voice. Even something simple like reading a passage out loud in class was a nightmare. Excuse me. The teacher was such a jerk for picking on you for that. Yeah. She made me repeat it again and again because I wasn't loud enough until the class got frustrated with me. It was a bunch of boys who picked on you after, right? They were pissed that we were late to recess break. The boys cornered me after class ended, confronting me as if I had done the whole thing on purpose. Caught off guard, I didn't know how to respond as my cheeks burned in mortification. It all happened so fast. Suddenly, someone was grabbing my hair and another was uncapping a bottle of glue and pouring it onto my braids. But children can be so cruel. He appeared right then and saved me. More like just cursed them out until they ran off. Yeah, what did you use? Dialect? Yep, learned it from my dad. I was grateful to Women, clutching onto her hand like a lifeline as she led me to the washroom to clean up. Shame had consumed me and I apologized profusely, but she deflected all of it. She forced me to accept her care instead. Women guided me to tilt my head back into the sink, tugging off my hair tie to release the black waves of my hair. Then she switched up on the tap and ran the water through my hair. I closed my eyes, sinking into the sensation. Her fingers combed through my hair, starting at the tip, carefully breaking up clumps of dried glue. She worked her way up to my scalp, tugging and untangling the strands. She was so meticulous, so gentle, that my heart ached. It was such a sharp contrast to how she treated the boys. I couldn't help thinking how lucky I was to be the one best friend that she had chosen. It was the first time I felt painfully vulnerable in her presence. For someone like me who doubted everything and struggled to keep my head up, her unwavering presence was so precious. I'm glad we became friends. Me too. Women seems calmer. Her shoulders have loosened up and her eyes are closing. Running water fills the silence. I wonder if she ever gets the same fluttering, vulnerable sensation I did. If this feels as intimate for her as it did for me back then, or if it's really nothing but a favor. Thank you, Shira. It's nothing. I think your hair is clean now. No, I mean, talking about the past, it was nice. I missed it. I leave Women to settle down in the room. Something draws me to the backyard again. The grave we've made is still there, a fresh mound of dirt in the midst of long overgrown grass. I think of his body, broken and buried beneath. I want him to rot. I want his flesh and skin to break apart and separate from bone, for the earth to consume him whole and leave nothing to touch her ever again. My head whips up at a sound, squinting at the trees. Belatedly, I'm reminded of the ritual Huimin and I had done as kids. How we had tied a red string to a tree, just like one of many here. Oh, hi. Who's... Before I can get my sentence out, the figure disappears as suddenly as it had appeared. I'm left with my heart pounding like a drumbeat, limbs trembling and skin speckled with goosebumps. I quickly returned to the room. Women had changed into a fresh set of clothes, but hadn't moved to dry off her hair. She stood motionless in a corner of the room, wet hair dripping onto the floor. I grab a towel and approach her. Women turns at the sound of my voice. She'd stopped crying, but her eyes still looked glassy, eyes red-rimmed and puffy. Despite looking in my direction, I wasn't sure if she was seeing me. I ignore that and push on. Come here. I'll help you dry off your hair. She doesn't move. I go to her instead. She doesn't protest when I take hold of her hair, sandwiching it between the towel and rubbing the strands dry. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. You didn't mean to. Did I really? Did I really not mean to? I paused. No, of course she didn't. The guilt is just eating away at her. I wish it would end already, be done flowing out of whatever well of conscience it came from. I wish we could move on, away from the shadow of him. He's dead, for God's sake. I wish I had done it instead. I won't look back. It was an accident. That's all it was, I mean, falls silent again. And another. Let's talk about us. Do you remember when we graduated together? Secondary school? Yeah. It was our first real taste of freedom, the first in years I could spend months without worrying about either homework or exams. Both of us were 16, teenagers longing to eat out, play around, and stay out late. We lusted for the autonomy that adulthood promised. I wanted to do everything all at once. It was exhilarating, especially so with Huimin by my side. Do you remember how we would split a McDonald's meal so we could save money? Or how we would walk around a whole mall with bubble tea and just window shop? We were so carefree back then. We were. Even though it was mundane in hindsight, those times meant a lot to me. It was what I clung onto after Huimin and I drifted apart. Did she think back about them too? Oh, that was when I dyed my hair for the first time. We finally didn't have annoying school rules about our hair or attire, so I itched to do something with it. I made you pick out the color for me. It's the same maroon shade I have right now. When the color first came out, Huimin said it was so pretty on me. And I'd kept it since then, religiously re-dyeing the roots each time they grew out until it felt as if it was my own hair. It's still the same color. It grew on me. God, going through our memories really feels like pressing on a bruise. A bruise shaped like a pathetic, fruitless crush. Back then, things felt almost perfect. I thought our relationship was heading in the right trajectory, that it was only a matter of time and I could get the ending I wanted. That she'll say yes instead of pushing me away. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm going to lie down. Can you turn off the light? Okay. Wait. Can you turn off the light? Okay. Oh, hello. I feel something squeezing my chest, making it impossible to breathe. I think of whispered ghost stories and urban legends, and the secrets muttered between two teenage girls. I think of Huimin and what happened when we slept over together. Maybe? I don't know. Just gonna keep thinking about us and not the boyfriend. Yeah. I see my bedroom in its familiar layout. Things have been shuffled around, nostalgic trinkets scattered around the room again. Oh, they're cute! Emin and I are teenagers, huddled on my bed, refusing to go to sleep, even though it was well past midnight. We ditched the class gathering earlier in the day, cycling to my place nearby to hang out instead. What do you think they're doing now? Probably playing Truth or Dare or some stupid games. Yeah, they'll probably try to pair me up with Weijie again if I was there. My throat tightens. This was around the time in my life when I started to wonder if I liked girls. It was a secret I was desperate to hide. The thought of anyone finding out, especially my parents, left me deeply mortified. Still, despite my attempts to quell it, jealousy stirs in my gut. Well, do you like him? Makes a face and I relaxed. No way. He thinks he's so good looking, but he's really just average. I can't stand him, actually. I wish I could see his reaction if you say that to his face. Grins lazily, nuzzling her face into the pillow. Maybe I should surprise him for graduation. Give that inflated ego a good kick. He giggles some more. I feel dizzy with joy, gloriously relieved that we were on the same side. That Huimin doesn't like him after all. I don't really want to sleep yet, Shira. Should we play a game too? What game? I blink, shuffling closer. Truth or dare? Sure. Okay, truth or dare? Truth. Have you ever had a crush on someone? Oh, I hadn't expected her to ask something like that. So cliched and embarrassing, yet drawn so confidently from her lips. I suppose she won't know who, even if I answered honestly. Yes. Smiles. Now you ask me. Truth or dare? Truth. I am a petty, immature teenager. Her question had flustered me, so I wanted to turn the tables back on her. Have you ever kissed someone? There is the slightest hint of a blush on Huimin's cheeks, but she answers without wavering. Yes, at one of the camps. My breath stills. I hate that I asked, even though I knew the answer would feel like a truck running me over. My stupid, sensitive heart hurt, and I want to cry and end the game. Now it's your turn again. Truth or dare? I stare at her, blinking slowly. Suddenly, I'm tired of honesty. My heart already feels raw, bleeding on my sleeve from just a few questions. Dare, whatever. I dare you to kiss me. My eyes go wide. What? You haven't kissed anyone before, right? No, I haven't, but it's really nothing much, Sarah. No, it really isn't nothing much. I feel like I'm going to die. Here I am, with an embarrassing crush on a girl who is going to kiss me, but she thinks it's nothing much. I'm in inches closer. I close my eyes, nerves keeping me frozen in place. Oh, they're teenagers. She presses her lips to mine, a small chest barely their kiss. I'd forgotten how it felt, but I'm so immersed in this memory that it comes back to me. It's almost how cruel how vivid it is. In the corner of my vision, I see a shape behind the curtain. That's when I knew that this memory returning like this is her. The spirit in the banana tree. The demon I made my wish to. This is her cruel way of dangling what I want so badly before my eyes. Because despite women kissing me that night, it was nothing more than a meaningless act. Years later, after I grew to accept my sexuality and plucked up the courage to tell her how I felt. Hi, Vinny. Thank you for dropping by. She rejected me. I could try to date you, but I just think that in the end, I'll probably end up with a guy. So I don't want to waste my time. Our time. She won't even give me a chance. She didn't think we had an ending together. I get it. I really do. But as much as I've resigned to it, having this memory dragged up from the depths and made afresh once more, I just want her all over again. I see the bedroom again. I'm back at the chalet. My body still feels prickly with phantom sensations. My chest feels tight with the emotions. The weight of it so heavy that I feel nauseated, ready to bend over and throw up on the floor. Emin is lying on the bed, motionless. You remember the ritual we did when we were younger? You wanted us to make a wish together. But I wished for something else. Maybe that's why it didn't come true. Maybe that's why we didn't stay best friends like you'd hoped for. Because I don't just want to be friends. I want you. And today I know I always will. That I will run to Huimin's side without a single seed of doubt. That I will lie and kill and bury for her. Even if she said not to waste my time on her, I will chase the imprint of her kiss forever. I will feed the pieces of my dream into her, force my pleas and promises past her lips, even if I know she will always spit them back out. I know that, and I've known that for years, and still the dream does not die. Emin opens her eye. Shit. I see the shadow from the backyard, the window, the one who twists my gut in ways both nauseating and intoxicating. I see the red thread I had tied myself to her. The way she followed me through the forest, through the dark, and through the years of my turbulent life. Of course, this is the only way it can happen for me. Show me. She reaches up, cupping my face in her hand. Show me that you want me. I'm waiting. Oh dear. Oh, doomed yuri. I don't care that it feels wrong. I'm long past that. And I'm not reading that. And I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that out loud. I'm not reading. Wait. Wait. I don't know if I can actually show this. Okay. 1 second. Do you know the price of your wish? I know she's speaking against my skin, but I hear her voice inside my head, deep and guttural like an inhuman growl. Suddenly her nails grow sharp against my skin, scraping against my pulse. My body goes cold. I swallow. She must taste my fear through my throat. She must know that as much as I am afraid, I will not run. I feel her lips pull tight into a smile, all teeth against the jugular of my neck. It's you. Oh shit! Cheer got chomped. I close my eyes. Like, actually chomped. I hope my blood is warm against her lips. I hope my heart is as black as it feels. And I hope that when she is done with me, that she will drag me straight to hell. It doesn't matter if it's a bad ending, as long as it's one that I can share with her. I got the love ending. That's terrifying. And now we go to... Let's see if we can get Quim inside. I mean, are you okay? Your back is covered in bruises. Oh. I try to be careful, stringing my words together cautiously so she doesn't close off. Is it recent? I don't know. I can't really keep track. My dad gets... Oh, wait, no, wait. Is it recent? I don't know. I can't really keep track. My dad gets angry all the time. Well, it's probably something stupid like letting my wet hair drip on the floor or forgetting to arrange the plates a certain way. Who knows? Bite my lip. Women has a violent father. As the eldest daughter in the family, she's been raised to shoulder the responsibilities of taking care of both the household chores and her younger brother. She's the most hardworking and meticulous person I know, yet her father continues to find fault in her. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. I'm just unlucky. Sometimes I wonder if I did something to deserve this, if I'm a bad daughter after all. I mean, you're not. Then what am I supposed to do for my family to be happy with me? It feels like there's an imaginary bar I'm trying to reach, but I don't know where or what it is. It's just incomprehensible to me. No, David. I don't even know how it happened. It was as if something took over me and I just... Oh god. Am I just like my dad? Just as violent and senseless? That's not true, I mean. It was an accident. I know it is. You didn't want to hurt him. Yeah, I won't hurt David on purpose, right? After all, I love him. I wanted to marry him. Oh, my heart sinks. I've known this, but so my gut wrenches with disappointment. If I can marry him, we could get a house and I can move out. It felt like the only way I could escape. The only way my family would let go. But now it's over. My dream is over, Kira. This is the same. And there she is. Goodbye. we're going to talk about university. Do you remember what it was like in university? I was anxious. It was the first time we were really apart. I had a hard time, actually. I was unsure about the new environment, so I tried to keep in touch with you as much as I could. I see. When university started, both of us had to adjust to a new kind of curriculum and new classmates. I was lost without her, frantically clinging onto our friendship through text messages and calls. On the other hand, I made fit in better in her class. She made friends quickly. She even met him. University was where you met him, right? Yes, I met David then. David was her first proper boyfriend. She was devoted to him, almost desperately so. I hated it. I remember jealousy coiling in my gut, thinking that it's so easy for him. David was a tall and decent-looking boy pursuing business in university. He was popular and sociable in class, did well in school, and even played sports on the weekend. The exact type of guy who would make an ideal son-in-law. I knew it wasn't hard for him to approach women, and it wasn't hard for women to say yes either, because boys liked girls and girls liked boys, didn't they? I could try to best him in everything. I could work to get better grades, play more sports, grow my social circles, but my attempts for anything more than a platonic friendship will always be wrought with disappointment. All I could do was step back and watch it unfold. Let envy claw at the hollow of my gut, hungry for what it can't have. I wanted to be happy for you, but he always wanted your meal times and weekends. You started giving so much of yourself to him. I just felt pushed aside, I guess. I'm sorry. It's fine, it's not all your fault. I remember trying to hate her for treating our friendship like this. But once I had the opportunity to see her again, a smile, a hug, the sound of her melodious voice, all that bitterness was pushed under the rug. Oh my gosh, codependency. I just missed you. And I still do now. Sometimes I think, if only I was a boy. If only I was him. Oh, how much simpler it would be. I won't even need a twisted wish like this. I won't even need a demon like her. I think of David, the boy we had buried under layers and layers of earth. I think of the square edge of his boyish jaw, the bob of his Adam's apple, the broad slope of his shoulders. Does women still love those parts of him, rotting as he must be? My stomach feels so hollowed out from disappointment that it hurts. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm going to lie down. Can you turn off the light? I will not. I hesitate, finger hovering over the switch. A shadow lingers on my mind. Your room? Wait. What happens if I just... I guess I have to. Oh, hello. She said they had a fight? I see the room before me again. Furniture in disarray and broken glass strewn over the floor. I can hear Huimin sniffling, holding back tears. David is gritting his teeth. Thought we wanted to get engaged because you loved me. Babe, I do. Then why are you treating applying for a BTO flat together like a business transaction? It's supposed to be our home, not an investment. You're being unreasonable. How can you ask me to pay more for the down payment just because I earn a little more than you? It should be a 50-50 split. Otherwise, you're just taking advantage of me. But, David, you know I have almost no savings. I pay for my family's bills and whatever expenses they suddenly throw at me. I'm not trying to take advantage of you. I'm just asking for your help. So you think I have no responsibilities? Or that I'm made of money just because I paid for our Bali trip last year? No, no, I'm not saying that. I treat you so well, but you're just complacent now. Are you planning to use me to pay for a flat just so you can move out? That's not it. If you wanted a house of your own so bad, you should have worked harder so you can afford the down payment instead of relying on a guy. Some people deserve to die, actually. Some people deserve to die, actually. Then David grabs her. No, no, no. Don't hurt her. Huiming gasps, bruises blooming under his tight hold. Okay. I'm not going to read this out loud. I'm going to pickle him. Thank God he's dead already. Kill him so you can take it. David crashes into the table. The top shatters, glass shattering over the floor. His body slumps into the side, blood pooling on the floor, a deep, deep red. I see the bedroom again. I'm back at the chalet. Wyman is lying on the bed, her body turned away from me. Her shoulders are shaking as she presses her face into the pillow and cries. I'm sorry, David. I'm so sorry. I put my hand on her shoulder. Do I want to comfort her, or do I just want her to stop saying her name? I don't know how it happened. Stop. It's already over. He's already dead. I wished for it and I don't regret it, so stop dwelling on it and look at me. Look at me, please. Come back. Please. I pull away, my stomach dropping like a stone in the ocean. This must be the cruelest stroke of all. I'm sure David is laughing in his grave. All this and I'm still not enough. Deep in my gut, I feel a gnawing pain. It's familiar, something I've known for years. It's the feeling when I see his arm around her waist in their photo, when she addresses him and touches his cheek, when Huimin picks him over and over and over again. I want her to be mine. I had dreamt of a slow but sweet romance. I had dreamt of Huimin, the fearless girl who didn't care what anyone else thought, leading me into it. And me, the introverted girl who struggled to even express a single opinion of my own, gladly following along. But nothing happened. And all I have is a pathetic, twisted wish. Slowly I begin to hear a hissing in my head. It starts soft, like wind pushing past the curtains. Then it grows louder, raspy voices and harsh, unfamiliar tones. Her. Her whisper is the curl of a finger, a taut thread tugging on my feet. I'm back outside, looking into the backyard where we buried him. The harsh breeze cuts through the forest, raising goosebumps across my skin. I stare at the mound of earth, at the grave we had dug for him. He's right there, my mind supplies. The boy I wanted to become. I got sting. Painful with all that I want, but I'm still missing. For the first time, I have a name for it. Hunger. I drop to my knees and start digging. The thoughts in my head begin to cease, replaced by the repetitive scrape of earth against my hands. Then I hit flat. Here is his boyish jaw, Adam's apple and broad shoulders rotted away. That was fast. And she still loves him. Even though he hurt her. Even though he... Take what you want. The voice is in a tongue I shouldn't recognize, but I know what it says. After all, it's been in my head for a while. Demon or devil, it doesn't matter. She's the one who hurt me all those years ago. She's the only one who knows how bad I wanted this. Wear his skin, and your wish can come true, too. The hollow ache in my stomach is all-consuming, something that threatens to eat me up from the inside out. I reach forward, sinking my hands into flesh. Oh my god, more! It breaks easily under my fingers. Blood slicks over, smearing over my hands. I think about how I'm taking him apart. I think about how I'm breaking his boyish features, his easy charm, and whatever women loved, down to its elements again. And now I can build myself anew with it. I bring my hands up to my lips. He is bitter and sweet, something I hate and something she loved. I chew. Flesh breaks against my teeth, tearing and tearing apart. Blood runs over my tongue, down my lips, and in my throat. Gagged. For the first time, the gnawing pit in my stomach has settled. She can love me now. I feel relieved, even though the rot in my mouth makes me want to heave. Mira? Hi, Sophie. Thank you for the lurk. That's the wrong. My head whips around. I see Huimin by the door, her phone cradled carefully in her hands. She looks terrified. What are you doing? I hear sirens in the distance. Red and blue lights flashing in the night. I wanted you to be mine. But you won't even look at me. Not even after I killed him. So I wanted to be him. It was the only way. The red. The red is so good. It was all I ever wished for. All those years ago. The sirens are closer now, but it's okay. I have all I ever wanted now. Her voice has gone quiet for a while, too. I begin to wonder if maybe there was really no malevolent spirit or demon. Just me. Just me, who ruined Huimin in her dream. Me, whose jealous heart set us all on a trajectory towards hell. It's a hell I'd gladly accept. Ah, shit. Amazing. And now we have all of the pictures. Amazing. I had a lot of fun. That was such a good short story. Yippee doomed yuri. I'm going to run the ad now. So that there's like a convenient place to switch games. Because next, we're going to go to the other side of the spectrum and just listen to wholesome Yuri. Yes, yes. So, I'll take a drink, stretch your leg, and we will be back in about 3 minutes. And we're back. I don't remember if I played
That's what happened.
off stream. I think I did. Basically, Miho was right. Okay. We're at the turning point actually. Miho got a job at the library that she's staying at with Juliet. And then she finally learned enough letters to kinda look at things. Or well, I think she's still working hard at reading. But there was an exhibit for like old Korea stuff. Oh, for old Korea stuff. He just looked at me like, what was that? Alright, go back to sleep. And she found her special person. Let's see. There were some more scrolls by my person. And then she found out that their name is Jongin. And then Aspen and Juliet are dumbstruck. You seem awfully calm. It's tempting to tell them about the Gumiho, but if only because Miho also ran into another Gumiho. Another fox, which, who was mad that Miho is becoming domesticated, as she says, in her words. It's tempting to tell them about the Gumiho, if only because I know they'd reassure me about everything she said. But that's why I can't tell them, not yet. In a way, I'd just be proving her right.
Well, alright.
We'll be here whenever you need us.
Oh my god, I love Juliet.
Thanks. Is breakfast ready?
Yes, just now. Here you go.
Hunger. Juliet fills her plates and takes her seat, and we all dig in. It's a quieter meal than usual, with only the sounds of chewing and silverware scraping against the dishes. I feel like Aspen and Juliet are having a conversation in their silence. Of course they'd expect more from me. I'd expect more from me too. And right after leaving the museum, I was that excited. I am still excited, of course. It's just been tempered a little. I still plan to ask Aspen and Juliet to help me get in touch with Jongin, but I want to wait until I can do it with a clear head. Once everyone's finished eating, I gather up the dirty dishes and take them to the sink while Juliet washes the pans and Aspen wipes down the tables. Another routine morning.
I'll see you two later. Thanks for breakfast.
Bye, Aspen!
My pleasure, as always.
Listen, I have two hands.
Bye!
Miho, you have two hands. You can have both the girlfriends. Juliet and I then go into the library ready to start the day, or end it in her case. I head to my spot behind the front desk and begin getting everything ready. The checkout sheets, my pens and pencils, my study materials, and so on.
Are you all set, Miho?
Yep, I've got everything I need.
Wonderful. Well, I'll leave you to it then. Have a good day.
You too. Sleep well.
From the way Juliet lingers halfway between me and the stairs, I can tell she wants to say or ask something else. She thinks better of it, simply giving me a smile before heading up to her room. I whistle while I throw open the curtains and unlock the door. By the time I've returned to the counter, ready for the first patrons to arrive, I even manage a light melody. I've been practicing my whistling a lot lately, as a way to spend time while alone. Aspen tried to show me how, but she's not very good at it either. I'm pretty sure I'm already better than she is. The sound of it reminds me of the birds back in my home forest. Before long, patrons start to arrive, and I soon have a list of things to do. Books to check in and out, books to return, books to search for. It keeps me good and busy. Oh, to be a librarian. The hours pass by in blissful normalness, and I don't have a single thing to complain about. Doko ni iko ka? Where to indeed? I don't think I needed to go anywhere in particular, so let's go to the cafe. Something feels weird in the Bell House today, but I can't put my finger on it. What could it be? Did they redecorate? Is there someone watching me? Is there a gas leak? Wait, I think I got it. All the other patrons are reading books! Like proper paper books, not just fake books on their computer. The covers are all the same style, so it occurs to me that maybe these are all students doing assigned readings or cramming for a test. Whew, I'm so glad I don't have to go to school. Still, though, being the only person without a book is making me feel kind of left out. Maybe I'll go hold a book for a while at the library to feel better. Alright, she can't read yet. She's still learning her letters. It's a rainy Thursday morning, and the library is as dead as I've ever seen it. Even Aspen didn't come by this morning simply because she didn't want to get soaked. We'll see each other later instead. The only patrons here are the ones who don't mind the weather, so I have to make sure they don't drip on any of the books. Before she went to bed for the day, Juliet left a bundle of towels near the door for anyone who needs one. At least it makes my work easier, and the slow day means I have extra time to study. I'm able to remember most of the letters by now and even read a few words. I haven't told Juliet or Aspen about my progress because I want to surprise them with it later. After an hour or so, I set aside my pencil and gaze out the window with my chin resting on my palm.
Huh. It stopped.
It's still cloudy outside, but the worst of the rain seems to be over. I get up and walk to the window, looking around at the soggy view. I leak backwards in surprise as something suddenly splats against the glass in front of me.
Whoa!
What the? At first it looks like a puddle of water that's stuck to the window, but then it starts to wiggle. I stare in confusion as a pitiful-looking face forms in its middle and frowns at me. Suddenly it hits me what I'm looking at. This must be a water elemental. I've never seen one for myself before now. I usually hang out in rivers or lakes, but I've heard those sometimes come out onto dry land when it's rainy. That must be what this one did. Not that it stopped raining, though.
Oh no! You could dry up!
Just like a fire elemental can die if its flames go out, a water elemental like this could be in trouble if it doesn't stay wet. The weather might still be damp, but the sun is starting to poke through the clouds.
Okay. Wait right there. I'll go find something.
I don't know if it can understand me or even hear at all, but I wave out the window and hold up one finger to try to show that I'll be right back. After a quick peek to make sure there's no patrons waiting, I hurry to the kitchen and dig through the cabinets, hoping to find a pot or something that's big enough. The biggest one Juliet has is the one that she uses to make pasta, and even that might be too small. Small. Can't read. Plus, I'm not sure she'd want the taste of water elemental to be there every time she tries to make spaghetti.
Where else?
I could just wake Juliet up and ask her, but I should really try to solve this myself before bothering her. Instead, I start hunting through the other rooms for something that might help. There's nothing in the bathroom nor in the library area. When I check the dining room a second time, however, I notice a big bowl on top of a shelf that I hadn't seen before. Please don't tell me it's an urn. I have to stand on one of the chairs to reach it, but I grab the bowl and fill it half full with tap water before hurrying back to the window. The elemental is still stuck there, like a very sad bumper sticker. It already looks a little smaller, but it ripples with excitement when it sees me, its frown shifting into a watery smile. Oh, look at it! I head out the front door and skip around to the window, squelching through the wet grass as I go.
Here you go. Come on.
Holding the bowl up to the window, I gently brush the elemental in. To my surprise, it doesn't feel like touching regular water. Instead, it's thicker and a bit sticky, like jelly. The elemental starts to slide into the bowl in bubbles, which I hope is a good sign. It doesn't mix with the water in the bowl, but instead kind of hovers, with water both above and below it. When it gets itself fully into the bowl, it almost fills it up. The water sloshes over the edge and onto my hands, leaving the bowl almost dry except for the elemental stops. Wait. Almost dry except for the elemental itself. The bubbles stop, and an uncertain-looking face peers at me from the bottom.
Alright. Let's get you inside and figure something else out.
I hold the bowl as steady as I can, try not to spill any more as I go back into the library. Just like the guests, I have to make sure not to get any books wet. There's an empty side table near one of the reading chairs, so I set the bowl down there. The elemental seems fine for now, but it looks worried again. It reminds me a lot of Aspen.
I'm not sure what else to try.
I rack my brain, trying to think of something I might have missed in the bathroom or kitchen.
Wait! That bathroom! That's it!
What? Kneeling down in front of the bowl, I try to reassure the elemental, which is doing its best to stay absolutely still and not slosh.
Okay, don't go anywhere. If you even can.
Running to the bathroom, I plug up the bath and set the faucet to max.
This ought to work for a bit.
Leaving the water running, I go back and retrieve the bowled elemental. This time I end up spilling more of the water, but luckily it only hits the ground. The tub is about half full by the time we get back, which should be perfect. I turn off the faucet and carefully pour the elemental in.
How's that?
There's a stream of excited bubbles. Yay!
Cool. Sit tight, and I'll find something we can use to get you back to the river.
More bubble. So cute. Quickly, but not in as big a rush as before, I go to resume my search on the second floor. Because this place is so big, there are still a few rooms that I've never seen. I'm pretty sure Juliet wouldn't mind me going in, since I'm trying to help someone out. The first room that I try is a closet, filled with towels and bedsheets and laundry stuff. The room after that is locked.
That's weird.
I try the knob again in case it was just stuck.
Definitely locked.
Wonder what's in there. I've never paid so much attention to that door before since it's so far from my room. Miho, take a hint. I drop to all fours and try to see under the door, but it's too narrow to see anything. Another nearby door isn't locked, and even better, isn't a closet. Aside from the doorway, which isn't particularly bright, it's pitch black when I step inside. I flick on the light switch, but the bulb fizzles and dies right away. It only takes a moment for my eyes to adjust to the darkness, and what had at first just been dark smudges turn out to be a bunch of boxes and assorted junk. The storage room. The whole place is covered in dust. I guess Juliet doesn't come in here either. Peeking into one of the boxes, it's filled with old kids' toys, like dolls and stuffed animals. Another one has some folded up clothes. Just as I'm about to give up and try another room, a half-covered object in the corner catches my eye. A heavy blanket is draped over a glass box, which is full of more random junk. I haul it all out, and remove the blanket, smiling at my find. It's a big fish tank, just like the ones I saw at the museum.
Cooler.
How are you going to bring that? Okay. After turning it over to shake out as much of the dust and debris as I can, I triumphantly take the tank to the kitchen sink to rinse it out before hauling it to the bathroom.
Look what I found.
When I set the tank on the edge of the tub, the elemental floats up to the top of the bath and ripples. It takes some maneuvering to hold the tank under the faucet, but eventually I'm able to figure it out and fill it up. Then I use the bowl from before to scoop up the elemental and dump it into the tank.
Perfect, right?
More ripples and bubbles.
Okay, let's get you to the river.
I wrap my arms around the fish tank and lift, and nearly tear my arms off.
That's heavy.
What did you think was gonna happen? I didn't notice when I was just getting the tank set up, but with all that water in it, there was a ton. It's way too heavy for me to carry to the front door, much less all the way to the river.
This
Ah, shit.
could be a problem.
It seems so perfect. So lucky. Even after dumping out some of the water, I still can't carry it. Sitting down on the tile floor, I sigh. The elemental floats dejectedly.
Miho? What's going on? I heard the sinks and bathtub running.
Juliet is standing in the doorway as I look up, wearing a look of concern on her face.
Hey! It was raining earlier, right? Well, there was this water elemental on the window. I tried to bring it inside so it wouldn't dry up while I worked out how to get it back to the river, but now I can't carry this huge fish tank that I found.
A fish tank? Where'd that come from?
It was in one of the storage rooms, along with a bunch of kid stuff. I'm guessing they came from the library's children's section.
Juliet purses her lips, and I feel my heartbeat start to quicken like it always does when I'm in trouble.
Sorry if you didn't want me to go in there. I didn't know what that room was or what I was even looking for until I found the tank.
Oh, mijo.
I didn't look inside the locked room, though.
Juliet's frown deepened. But it doesn't look like she's angry, or like she's sad.
No need to apologize. You've done nothing wrong. Although...
I wait for her to finish her sentence, but it doesn't happen.
Although...
Never mind. It's nothing. Let's focus on helping our friend here first.
Hi. No, your eyes are so big. Would you like a treat, sir? Your paw is so cute. Okay, fine. Go above. She reaches into the tank and scoops a handful of the water before dripping it back onto the floating elemental. The creature seems to enjoy it as far as I can tell.
Any ideas?
An idea comes to mind after you mentioned that storage room. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I sit back and relax as Juliet departs. I'm glad she didn't get upset after all, but something was definitely bugging her. I wonder what it was. Hi! My eyes are so big. Hello. You want treats? After a couple minutes, I pick up the sound of something rolling down the stairs. I stand up and poke my head out the door and spot Juliet pulling a red wagon behind her. It has a rope handle and isn't very large. I can't see the screen anymore because Gato is in front of the screen. Hello. Hello, buddy. You're so hungry. It has a rope handle and isn't very large, but should have more than enough space for the tank.
Whoa! You're a genius!
With a smile, Juliet parks the wagon next to the bathtub.
As I said, you were the one who gave me the idea. Would you mind helping me lift it onto the wagon?
Sure.
We each take one end and carefully move the tank. Juliet also brought a number of tight straps to help keep it in place. Once it's all set up, the elemental is safe and secure. I kneel down to get my face level with the glass.
How do you like that?
This time, the elemental shifts into the biggest grin I've seen.
Looks like we've got a winner.
Cute.
Wonderful. If I watch the library, would you mind taking it back home? You're welcome to borrow an umbrella.
No problem. Be back soon.
Taking a towel and umbrella for myself from the front door, I lead the elemental outside and onto the path. It's cloudy out and more gray than blue, but at least it's not raining right now. Still, I don't want to waste any time.
Is anywhere in the river okay? I know just the place then.
The elemental bobs up and down. The muddy path slows down the wagon a bit, but it isn't too bad. When we go downhill, I have to be careful not to let it get out of control, but other than that, it's pretty easy. From the bottom of the hill, it's not too far to the spot I had in mind. I noticed a small abandoned ramp into the river way back when I was still living in the woods, but it wasn't useful to me
I don't know
then.
why anyone built this place, but it sure worked out for me.
Kneeling near the bottom of the ramp, I wrap the wagon's rope around my wrist to keep it from rolling away, then undo the straps on the tank. With both hands, I gently tilt the tank onto its side. The water and elementals spill out, flowing down the dirty concrete and into the river. The water begins to churn immediately, bubbling as if something huge is coming to the surface. A rushing sound echoes about the empty area before a torrent of water suddenly shoots upwards like a fountain, arcing clear over me. As I look up, I see the elemental shimmering within the water, catching the light from the sun. For one brief moment, the most beautiful, vivid rainbow I've ever seen hovers before me, so close that I could touch it. Then the water and elemental crash back into the river and everything goes still. I smile, certain that I
You're
understand.
welcome.
Cute. Where to? But nobody's around right now. Interesting. Let's go to a garden. I intended to take a walk through the botanical garden, but my usual route is being blocked by a small wedding ceremony. I didn't know a place like this would rent out space for weddings, but I guess it makes sense. Lots of good scenery for wedding photos. Weddings, huh? If I got married here, what would be the best flower to kiss the bride in front of? Maybe like one that smells really good, so that I'm making a pleasant face if anyone takes a photo. Not that I think any of that will ever happen, but it doesn't hurt to imagine. All day it's been showering on and off, raindrops still pattering on the roof even now. At least the frogs outside are comfortable, happily croaking away in the dark night. To stave off the cold, I keep a warm blanket wrapped around me while sitting up and watching TV. I don't really understand all the complicated things the presenters are talking about, but it's interesting to see their reports from all around the world. My ears prick up as I hear someone walking up to the door. A series of 3 knocks gently ringing out against it. Always 3 from Juliet.
Yeah?
Oh, she's cute! Look at her pajamas!
I'm
Wow!
making some tea. Would you care to join me? I can make some hot chocolate as well.
Oh my god, tea? Yes, please.
Sure. Be right down.
I've been so sleepy today. I don't know why. I actually I had coffee in the afternoon, and yet I am once again sleepy. What the heck? A warm drink sounds nice right now. Not wanting to leave my cozy blanket, I decide to hold it tightly around myself and waddle down to the kitchen with it. The stairs prove a little difficult, but I manage. Oh my god. Ah, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I just noticed that my Sprite has stopped working, so 1 second. Hello? There. It's back to normal. There are already 2 mugs sitting on the table when I arrive, and the kettle is already steaming. As I take my seat, Juliet pours boiling water into each cup.
You knew what I was gonna say before you even asked me, huh?
I had a feeling, yes.
She pushes my mug across the table, and my hands peek out from my blanket to cradle it. Happy for the warmth, I hold the mug for a while before tasting the steaming hot chocolate inside.
I like the hot chocolate you make even better than the stuff at the Bell House.
Why, thank you. I'm happy to hear that. Although I imagine Aspen wouldn't be.
If you hear scratching in the back, that's Noctis discovering a bag clip on the ground. That was the big noise earlier,
Now that I think
and
about
now it is his toy.
I'm surprised we've never gone together.
We haven't. Well, why don't we change that sometime then? Perhaps we can meet Aspen for breakfast there instead. It has been a while since I've stopped by.
Sure! I've never gotten any food from there. Only drinks.
You're in for a treat then. They serve delicious pastries and sandwiches.
Yeah.
There's a particular one that I know Aspen enjoys, although I can't remember what it was.
That's okay. I'm sure I'll be fine with anything they have. I can't remember the last time I tried something that I didn't like.
That must come in handy when traveling the world so much, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Can't afford to be picky when you don't know the next time you'll even have options.
Have you found a favorite food? Or type of cuisine that you most enjoy?
Not really. Most of the time I just eat junk food or leftovers. Not really anything fancy.
Understandable. If there's ever a certain dish or meal that you'd like to try, it would be my pleasure to help make that happen. Perhaps we could even learn to cook it here at home.
I love
so
the
you
art
could have it
style
anytime.
so much. I'm just staring at it.
Sure.
It has such it's such a nice watercolor quality to it, especially the hair. I toss that onto the mental pile of if there's ever anything that Juliet's offered me. I know she means well, but at this point, I can't remember everything she said that about. The two of us continue to chat for a while, and I recount the full day's events with the elemental to Juliet, wrapping up my story at the point where I came home from the river.
Oops. That reminds me. I never put away the wagon. Let me know where it goes, and I can take it upstairs when I go back to my room.
Wagon? Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
Juliet quickly looks away, taking a sponge and busying herself cleaning some loose sugar off the counter. But it's obvious that something's off. I'm not sure what to do. It's so rare that Juliet's the one who seems uncomfortable. In fact, this is the only time I can think of. Other than when I first met her, of course, when I sort of tried to steal the painting.
By the way, who does all that stuff belong to? The wagon and the toys, that is. Were they part of the library children's section before or something?
No, they were personal possessions, not part of the library.
Oh?
Oh, like from when you were a kid. I'm surprised you managed to keep them for that long then.
Miho.
No, not my childhood.
Huh?
The sponge stops moving. Juliet's shoulders slumping as she gives up trying to work. I feel a little bad for making her act so oddly.
If you don't want to talk about it, that's totally fine. Sorry. I didn't know it was sensitive. I'm really, really sorry.
It's fine. You couldn't have known. Besides, perhaps it's only right that you know.
Juliet, are you okay?
No what?
She turns back towards me, taking a breath before she continues. Her eyes don't look at me, though. They're looking past me.
Do you remember when, several weeks ago, I told you that I met someone who changed my life? Someone who made me want to be a better person?
Yeah.
Well, her name, my daughter's name, is Cosette.
You have a daughter?
Yes, and she's been the biggest blessing in my many, many years of life. Although she's not of my own flesh and blood, she was my child. I found her on my doorstep one morning, tucked into a basket with a blanket and scarf around her. It was cold that morning, so very cold. When I opened my door and saw the silent bundle there, I feared that she was dead. But she was not. She was so very alive, and despite the cold, so very, very warm. She was barely a year old, if that. Yet she didn't cry. She could have been there all night for all I knew, but she never uttered a sound.
She must have thought that was it.
I brought her inside, of course, just so she wouldn't freeze. Beyond that, I was panicked and confused. I'd never wanted a human child. I didn't even know how to raise one. To this day, I don't know why whoever abandoned her chose my doorstep to leave her on. Of all places. But how wonderfully, impossibly lucky I was.
Oh?
Because she didn't cry, I thought she might be mute. But that wasn't the case. She had a great deal to say. And as she got older, she would talk and talk. Every word was like music, a melody to my ears only.
Cute.
I felt so fortunate and so unprepared. I suddenly had the life and well-being of another in my own hands. Her future, her everything. It was a responsibility I had never asked for, and likely would have never asked for if my life hadn't changed that day. She grew and grew, from a curious baby to precocious child, then to a confident young lady, and finally to a lovely woman. I couldn't have been more proud as a mother. Every graduation, every breakup, every smile and tear changed my life. As my daughter, of course it would be true to say that I raised her, but it was mutual. She also made me into the person I am today.
Aww. That's cute. Once Juliet finishes speaking, I let out a breath I don't remember holding. Just as when she'd first started speaking, her gaze is still fixed on the empty wall somewhere above my head. Just like when Aspen gets sucked into one of her books, I can tell that Juliet's mind is somewhere else entirely.
The moment that I resolved to raise her, I made a promise to myself and to her. A promise that I would do all in my power to make the world Cosette lived and grew up in a better one that I had experienced. That I would show her how to find the beauty and the joy in all things dark and terrible. In a sense, I ceased to exist as a single person. My life was no longer my own. It was tied, forever and always, to another.
So, all those
Whoa.
toys and things.
Yes, the treasures and mementos of another life. Of happy days filled with laughter, of scraped knees and tummy aches, of heartbreak and homecomings. I keep them there as not simply a reminder, but a tribute to those times.
Wow. I would have never guessed any of that. I never knew you were a mom.
Her gaze returns to me, to the world that we're in now. She gives a little smile, but it looks fragile.
Well, I suppose it's not something I speak of very often.
Does she live here in Wellington?
Oh,
I meet her?
mijo. Juliet regards me with a strange look, similar to earlier with the elemental. It's not that she looks angry, but like she's thinking about something very hard. I stare back, not sure of what else to do or what I might have said wrong. Like always, her expression soon softens.
She is in Wellington, yes. A bit of a walk, but not too far. You can go in the morning if you'd like. It's been a little while since I have.
Oh,
Sure, fine by me. I guess it is getting kind of late for a visit, huh?
It is indeed. Speaking of which, I actually...
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
of course. Don't worry about me.
Have a good night then. See you in the morning.
See you. I'll be ready to go first thing.
as Juliet leaves, I watch her go. It might just be me, but it seemed like she left in a hurry after saying all that. Maybe she and Cosette had an argument about something. Argument about something? Or maybe she just didn't want me to meet the other people in her life. I'm probably just imagining it. The way she talks about Cassette is so different to the way I've heard Juliet talk about anything or anyone else. I can tell she cares a lot about her. Hopefully it'll make more sense tomorrow after I get to meet her. When I finally decide to head back up my room, I take the wagon back first, as promised. I have to pick it up and carry it to get it up the stairs, but fortunately it's not that heavy, even with my blanket bunched up inside. Once I get to the second floor, I put it down and drag it the rest of the way to the storage room. After pushing the wagon into its empty spot, I take a proper look around now that I know what this room actually contains. More than just toys. I also spot racks of clothes and stacks of books and all kinds of other belongings. The whole room is pretty packed. Slowly making my way back to the door, I carefully maneuver between a rocking horse and a dollhouse, taking care not to step on anything or knock it over. Taking one last peek around before I head to my own room, I get the feeling that there's nothing missing from Cosette's childhood in here. I can't say for sure, but it certainly seems like Juliet hasn't let anything go. The morning air is fresh and crisp, and the plants around us looking healthier for the drink last night. A handful of small puddles here and there are all that remains of yesterday's rain, likely to be completely dried up in a few hours. As I stand by the front door of the library, Juliet walks up beside me and unfolds her parasol, bringing it over her head.
Shall we depart? It's about a 30-minute walk from here, so perhaps we'll take a ride back once we're done.
Yep. Will you be okay in the sun with that?
Yes. It's still early enough that I don't need to worry too much.
Lead on then.
I feel like I haven't seen Aspen for a couple days now. Stepping out into the brilliant morning, I stretch and roll my shoulders. It's a nice day, not too cold and not too hot. As always, Juliet's steps are measured and even as she walks. Her parasol bobs with each step, making it look like she's wearing a big hat from this angle. I smile to myself at the image as I skip along beside her. Even with protection from the sun, it's rare to see Juliet out in the daytime.
So, I was wondering something. If your daughter lives so close, then why doesn't she come to visit more often? I've been here for a couple months now.
Although she clearly heard me, Juliet doesn't answer. Maybe it's too personal a question, because things are tense between them. I've never seen Juliet not answer one of my questions before, so I don't push it. Juliet remains quiet as we keep walking. That isn't unusual for her, but I still feel a little awkward.
Sorry if I shouldn't have asked that.
No, it's all right.
Hi, Ninji. I hope you're well.
Okay.
We head in a direction that I haven't explored before. We're in the same area as the gardens, but not quite the same spot. A massive green hill watches over us from one side, while trees blanket the other. After crossing a small bridge that runs over the highway, we reach another beautiful area. The concrete path we walk along is lined with bushes and flowers, and the occasional decorative lamps. There are a few houses peeking through the trees which ring the area, but most of the field is still covered in nature.
Whoa. Are we getting close?
Yes, we're very nearly there. This is Bolton Street Park.
She's pretty lucky to live in a place like this, huh?
Oh, Miho.
Even as a child, Cosette had an affinity for the woods and trees.
I get that. I'll bet she would love to be able to turn into a bat or a fox.
I'm taken off guard by Juliet letting out a great laugh. I don't think I've ever seen her like this. A little giggle, or rarely a chuckle from time to time, sure, but never anything so relaxed and sincere. A grin spreads on my face just from watching her.
Yes, I think you're right about that.
There are only a handful of houses around the park, so I wonder which one is Cosette. Time and time again, we walk on past the turns which lead to any of them. Just as I start to wonder where it is we're going, Juliet slowly comes to a stop. The main path forks into two here, The one to our left, a well-trodden dirt path. There's a sign, but I can't quite read the writing yet.
Everything okay? We're not lost, are we?
Heavens, no.
A number of tall trees shade the path that we're on, giving enough protection for Juliet to slide her parasol shut. She takes a deep, silent breath and smiles and gestures down the offshoot before us.
It's right this way. Just a little further.
Nodding, I follow again as she leads us onwards. Right away, I notice that something is a little bit off. Juliet's steps are slower and a bit more uneven, like she doesn't want to get to wherever we're going. After a few minutes of walking in silence, she takes one last turn off the path we were on, leading me up a small hill dotted with trees. Once we reach the crest, Juliet comes to a stop. Still confused, I step up beside her.
Here we are.
Huh? I don't see... Oh.
In the shade of one of the trees is a gray stone monument. Its edges are rough and worn from time, but it's spotlessly clean. There are others like it nearby, practically identical. Words are carved into the stone, too small for me to read easily. I've never visited before, but I realize what this place is. I silently mouth the letters of the word at the top, even though I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to say. There's a C, then an O, and then an S. Cosette's grave is preserved perfectly. I'm sure Juliet wouldn't stand for anything else.
I'm... sorry. I didn't...
It's okay, Miha. I'm aware you didn't know. But I wanted you to.
She turns back to the grave, gently running a hand over the curved stone.
My beautiful, precious daughter passed away years ago. Almost 2 decades by now. She lived a long, full life and spent her final moments with those she loved. The last words she told me, the last words she ever said to me.
Juliet's shoulders shake without a sound as I stand there, helplessly. She shudders as she takes a deep breath.
Or that she couldn't have been happier.
Oh,
What was she like?
She was so many things that it's almost impossible to answer. I think you would have liked her. I'm sure she would have loved you. She was adventurous and free, sometimes stubborn to a fault. Once her heart was set on something, there was no stopping her. Everything she did vividly, to the fullest. Even if the very laws of existence told her something was impossible, she would try anyway.
oh.
She was endlessly kind, with compassion for every living thing, from the smallest insect to the largest, most ferocious beast. She saw the value in all of them.
She gives a small smile as she looks at me, even as tears well in her eyes. I gulp to try and force down my own emotion.
You should have seen her as a child. She would talk your ear off. Both of them, if you'd let her. There wasn't a single person near us who didn't know who she was. So open and free was she. That warmth and care. It was the core of her life. If she saw someone in need, she would rush to their aid. It just naturally came to her. If you or I see someone hurting, we may choose to help. For Cosette, it wasn't a choice. It was simply who she was. To know her was to adore her. Every day that went by, I was more and more proud of her. Those virtues never faded a bit. Even on her last day, she was worried for me more than anything. I promised her that I would...
Juliet sobbed, dragging her hand across her face. All I can do is watch my own emotions, a storm that tosses me in all different directions. The pain in Juliet's shaky voice is enough to make my own breath tremble. But beyond that, there's something else. Something eating at me that I don't want to acknowledge. Juliet turns back towards the grave, taking a couple steps closer. Unfurling her parasol, she holds it over her shoulder like a shield, guarding herself against the sunlight. She's also able to stand a little straighter.
I promised her that I would live as she did, to honor her memory with kindness and with virtue and with compassion and patience for all. That I would ensure her legacy lived on in the many lives she had touched. It was only in the days that followed her passing, as I wandered lost and alone, that I truly began to understand how much she had saved my own life. The gift she gave me was something I'd never had before. Purpose.
Oh.
How very silly and irrelevant things such as wealth and prestige began to seem after that. Those were fleeting concepts, born as a misplaced need or desire. There was something that could be much greater. Something well beyond money and power. Love. As a word, it's difficult to understand. To hear the poets speak of it, there's nothing mightier and nothing softer. Love was either everything or it was nothing. It had always seemed so trite, so mature. An attempt to create meaning where there is none. And yet, I've found that the poets were right. They were so right. You and I, Miho, to be able to live on, unaffected by time's curse, must surely seem a blessing to some. But that time is meaningless without something to fill it. To those of us who walk alongside Father Time, rather than fleeing him, it's awfully lonely. When I first became a vampire, I told myself that I had no more need for humans, that I was beyond them. Now, I realize I was afraid. There's a simple contentment and joy that can only be found in experience and age, I've learnt. Wisdom does not exclude humans, but to look on as once vibrant hair fades to grey, and as once strong hands soften their grips, as once treasured memories become distant. There is pain. To watch someone you love grow up is beautiful. To watch them grow old is to suffer. Cosette lived into her 80s. A good, long life for a human. even as her flesh started to fail her, her mind never did. She was sharp as a sword and quick as a fox. For a human, there is no kinder, gentler end than that of old age. And every day, I'm thankful that Cosette was one of those lucky ones. To slip away peacefully and painlessly. As I held that soft, shaky hand for the last time, I wished desperately that I could trade places with her. I would have done anything to give her just one more day, but there was nothing to be done. Cosette passed on with no regrets, and a smile on her face. She lived as full a life as any human could live. And when she was gone, I was still there. My flesh not a day older than when I met her. It was then that I realized what a cruel gift immortality could be. What a slow, repetitive torture if I chose to let it. So for the sake of Cosette's memory, and of the promise I made, I swore that I would continue to live as I had not lived before. For virtue, for friendship, for others, for tomorrow. To die is human. To live is a privilege.
Wow, this line. With absolute clarity, the storm inside me calms as I pass through its eye. There's a sense of finality in Juliet's words, which leaves them ringing in my ears as I stumble backwards without thinking about it. To die is human. All humans. Cosette, someday Aspen, but also even mine. My person. Understanding hits me like an arrow to the heart, and I barely notice the look of surprise on Juliet's face as I transform, turning tail and fleeing into the forest. My person, the one I've searched for my entire life, is dead too. Long dead. No matter what happened after they left the forest, the nature of their human lifespan means that they lived lifetimes ago, generations ago. As I run farther and farther away, one thought echoes above the others. All this time, all these years, all these decades, they've been for nothing. I dig my claws into the earth with every step, tearing at the roots and leaves. I do know the name, or the feeling pulling and tugging at me. The one that had taken over Juliet as we stood there. One I've heard of, but never felt until now. Grief. Every lie, every theft, every struggle and hardship, everything or nothing. That word swirls in my head, a dying leaf drifting towards the ground, falling and powerless to stop itself. Finally, I come to a stop, not even knowing where I am or for how long I ran. I just stop when I lose the will to run anymore, transforming onto my knees. Every decision I've ever made, every place I've ever gone, had all been in service of one dream. Over time, I grew to rely on it. I didn't ever have to think or make a difficult decision for myself. Instead, it was like I had a path to follow, however long. But that path wasn't actually leading anywhere. All it did was take me far away, and leave me on my own. Rising to my feet, I look around the area. Although the trees and slopes remind me of Mount Victoria, I don't recognize it at all. Juliet's nowhere to be seen. The sprawling sunlight means she couldn't join me here even if she wanted to. Even if she found me. I wonder if she's looking. Juliet, who always seemed so calm and put together. Behind that mask, she was hiding all these feelings. What else don't I know about her? What else has she been keeping to herself? Is it just more pain? An ice cold chill runs down my spine, making me shudder as I realize something else. She must have known too that my person was dead. She must have figured it out right away. Yet she never told me. Aspen, too. Suddenly every pained look or topic changed whenever I brought up Jongin makes sense. They both knew, and were hiding it from me all along. This whole time, letting me go on and get my hopes up without ever stopping me or telling the truth. It was so simple, too. So obvious. If I just thought about it for a bit myself, I'd have realized that humans live and die much faster than my kind do. Sighing, I sit down on the grass, wrapping my arms around my knees. I mash one palm into my eyes to wipe away the tears that are there.
Stop crying, Miho.
With a few deep breaths, I manage to fight away the stinging pressure and keep myself from breaking down even more. I sigh again. Once I'm certain it won't turn into a song. Sorry. Now that the initial shock has worn off, the pain in my heart has gone from a sharp stab to a dull throb. Aside from pure survival instinct, death has always been distant and faceless to me. But now I have to look it in the eye. My time with Jongin was short, thousands of times shorter than the time I've spent looking for them since then. Still, it was all I had. Where do I even go from here? The sun is getting higher, so Juliet must have made her way home by now. She might even be waiting for me to come back. We both know I have to at some point. It's getting hotter for me too. Shakily, I rise to my feet and look around again, actually trying to get my bearing. If I have to, I can just go back in the direction I came from until I find somewhere familiar. The ads are starting, so we are going to be right back. So we're going to try for a little longer. Mostly because I forgot that the ad was happening. And I couldn't snooze it in time. And also because I want to at least end the chapter on a relatively high note. Or not one like this. At least talk to Julia for a little. I start walking back towards the library since it's the only place I have to go. I may think of it as home for now, but I can't help but picture Juliet's sobbing face. Immortal or not. There has to come a time someday where we don't see each other, and that will be the end of our memories together. Or at least, her memories of me. The same goes for Aspen, as mortal as Cosette. Aren't I just resigning myself to feeling this pain again someday? Potentially even stronger? Maybe she was right, the other Gumiho. Maybe I don't belong anyway. Anywhere. By the time I get back to the library, I'm exhausted from the walk in sun. I throw open the library door and go inside, walking past my empty seat at the front desk. Juliet's nowhere to be seen, only patrons. They've always managed just fine without me, though. Plodding up to my room, I grab my blanket from my bed and wrap it around myself before I lower myself to the floor. That's when the tears hit me again, and this time I can't hold them back. Slouching onto my side, I don't even try. There's no point. As I expected, in less than a minute, there's a sound at my door. 3 knocks. Always 3.
Miho? Is that you? Are you alright?
I don't respond. I don't even know if I want to see Juliet right now. She's part of this too, after all. She pauses outside for a moment. But a few seconds later, Juliet opens the door anyway.
Oh, Miho.
The pity in her voice tells me everything I need to know. I can only imagine what I must look like. Covered in blankets and lying on the floor, I must look pathetic, childish. It must be how I always look to her.
Miho. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Juliet trails off, still just inside the door. I can see her legs and cane, but not her face. I can picture the concern on it, though. This is so smart. To have the sprite bigger so that you actually can't see her face.
Mean to what?
The words come out as a growl, surprising even myself. But I can't pretend. Not now. She let herself in here, she can deal with it. Her queen? Her cane sways from side to side as she wrings her hands, almost knocking into the wall more than once.
Mean for you to put things together this way. Such a painful way. I wanted to...
So you did know.
I cut her off without thinking as she confirms my suspicions. With one arm, I push myself up, letting the blanket fall away from my face as I glare daggers at Juliet.
Pardon?
You knew.
Slowly, I rise to my feet. My head is pounding and I can hear my blood pumping as anger rises through me, bubbling out like liquid magma.
All this time they've been dead, and you knew, didn't you? You probably knew from the first time I told you about them, right?
She stiffens and then Juliet sighs deeply. That's all anyone ever seems to do around here.
I did. Yes.
Why? Why didn't you tell me?
Although tears are beginning to choke my voice again, I manage to shout out my question, my accusation.
I've been looking like such an idiot. I'm already an idiot compared to you and to Aspen. Every day I'm reminded of that. But this really takes the cake, doesn't it? I've been wasting my whole entire life over something everyone else can figure out right away.
Miho, it isn't like that.
Then why? Tell me why you didn't tell me sooner. Or Aspen. She knows too, right?
Juliet nods meekly. My eyes burn and my nose is running. My face hurts in every way possible.
We didn't know how.
Know how? What do you mean, know how?
I can't keep myself from shouting. I feel so stupid, so angry, and so sad.
Please, Miho, try to understand. We were still just getting to know you. You barely trusted Aspen or me. If we just told you that the person you were looking for was deceased, we didn't know how you'd take it. You might not even believe us, for one thing. Or perhaps it would give you cause to run away again. As the weeks went on, we wanted to, but it never seemed to be the right time. Neither of us wanted to be the one to, out of nowhere, bring your whole world crashing down. Not when you were trying so hard. You seemed so happy. It felt more cruel to ruin that in a way. I'm sorry, Miho. I truly am. It was wrong of me to let it go this long without saying anything, but believe me, I only hesitated out of love. Aspen and I both. We simply couldn't bring ourselves to break your heart that way.
That lot of good that did? What? Oh. Juliet sniffles and I have to look away. I don't want to see her cry again. Not while I'm already like this. Stooping down to the floor, I pick my blanket back up and wrap it around myself again. Even as I do, I can't help but think of how it's not really my blanket. It's Juliet's. She just lets me use it. Like everything else.
Go away.
To my relief, she doesn't try to argue. Doesn't even say anything else. She just nods and silently leaves the room. The second the door shuts behind her, I collapse into my bed, put my pillow over my face, and succumb to my grief. My everything hurts when I wake up. Damp pillow still covering me. My face and head hurt from crying, and my body hurts from passing out in an uncomfortable position. I didn't even mean to fall asleep. I must have cried myself into it. The memories of yesterday don't even give me a chance to wake up before they flood my brain, pulling a groan out of me in response. I don't want to get up. I don't want to leave my bed. What's even the point? Still, I know I have to. I have to see Aspen within the next few hours and Juliet too, eventually. I don't know what to say or even what I want to hear. As much as I'd just like to avoid everything and everyone, the rational part of me knows that I can't. Instead, my magic and bead force me to conform like always. Either get up or be forgotten. It's not really much of a choice. I sluggishly get dressed and wipe down my face, which is still red from crying. Then I trot downstairs to where we'd normally be having breakfast. Except it's later than usual. There's food on the table for me, but it's long since cold. And I can hear the sounds of conversation and movement. That means the library is already open. Life goes on, with or without me. I cram down the slices of cold toast and browning apple without really tasting them, just knowing that I need the nourishment. Then I wander up to the front of the library where Juliet is seated in my spot at the desk. When she notices me approaching, I can see her struggle to decide how to greet me, uncertainty plain in her eyes. I can't decide either, so I just settle for a stiff nod.
Hey.
Good morning, Miho.
Her voice is awkwardly stilted. It seems out of place for Juliet. I gesture at the stack of books next to her in the half-filled checkout
You
sheet.
can go to bed. I can take over from here.
Juliet shakes her head, looking a little more confident in the motion.
No, it's all right. You're in no state to be working today. Let me handle it instead.
Really, it's fine.
The patron starts to approach the counter, a couple books in his hand. I start to reach for them, but Juliet stands up, blocking me off.
Good morning. All set to check out?
I let my hand fall to my side. The person checking out books looks a little confused, but settles on talking to Juliet instead of me. Fine, then. If she wants to, she can do it. She has that same practiced tone of voice when it comes to helping a stranger that Aspen does. Aspen calls it her customer service voice. To me, it's the same as how I'd sound when trying to deceive someone or get something out of them. The only difference is, I'm not sure I could pull up mine off now like she can. Then again, it seems like Juliet must have always been good at hiding her feelings. Wordlessly, I turn around and step out from behind the desk, passing by the guests and on my way out the door. From the corner of my eye, I can see Juliet watching me as I go, even as she deftly handles the checkout. The fresh air is an instant relief, and I gulp it in as I stretch out my arms, just basking in the sun for a moment. I start walking to the Bell house because I need to see Aspen before it gets too late. Fortunately, we had a late breakfast yesterday, so I have a bit more leeway than usual. I do my best to keep my head empty on the way there because if I let myself think, it'll turn bad. Instead, I just focus on putting one foot in front of the other and on paying the minimum amount of attention to my surroundings. Just enough to get me there. Aspen herself is working the counter when I enter the cafe, and she waves eagerly when she sees me.
Oh, Miho! I was just thinking of taking my break early to come see you. Juliet said you were feeling a little under the weather this morning.
I make my way up to the register, staring blankly at the menu. I could actually read some of it if I tried, but I'm not.
I can see what she means. Are you all right?
I shrug.
Yeah, I'm fine. Let me get,
The names of the different drinks that I like all swirl around in my head, but somehow, picking one feels like an impossible challenge. I wasn't actually planning to stay or get something to drink. I just started ordering out of habit.
whatever you recommend.
Frowning, Aspen taps something into the machine. I reach for my wallet, but she waves a hand to stop me.
It's on me. Go sit down and I'll bring you something soon. Thanks.
Leaving her to that, I trudge to a booth and sit down, resting my head on my arms and closing my eyes. Could have just come inside and left again as soon as Aspen saw me, but I know that I wouldn't feel any better anywhere else I could choose to go. At least this way I get a free drink out of it. I don't open my eyes again until I hear the sound of Aspen setting a cup down in front of me before taking a seat herself.
Thanks. Again.
Sitting up, I have a taste of whatever it is Aspen brought me. It's scalding hot and bitter.
What's in this? Coffee!
Coffee!
What else? Espresso? You look like you need it.
Gingerly, I take another sip, bracing myself against the heat this time.
One of your recipes? No, I don't know who invented it, but it's been my go-to for years when I need a pick-me-up. Don't you feel more awake now?
The aftertaste lingers in my mouth, but I drink some more anyway.
Unfortunately. Then it's doing its job. You really do look a mess, though. Were you crying?
As soon as Aspen takes a second to look at my face, I see her take on that same look of concern as Juliet. I raise my cup to my lips again just to hide myself.
Yeah?
There's an awful scraping sound as Aspen slides her chair a little closer to mine, taking one of my hands in hers. I pull away immediately.
Sorry, I should have asked first. What's wrong? Did I do something?
Her face starts to redden and I already know what's coming next.
It's fine.
I don't know how to respond, so instead I opt for a question that's been lingering on my mind.
Do you know who Cosette is?
Cosette? No, I don't believe I know the name. Is she a friend of yours?
No. Don't worry about it.
If Aspen doesn't know, I'm not going to be the one to tell her. Still, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that Julia never mentioned her before, even though the two of them were supposedly close friends. As for my human, though, may as well just get it out there. At least then we'll all be on the same page.
I found out my person is dead.
Although I've been sitting with that thought for hours now, it's the first time I've said the words out loud. To my own surprise, they come out as steady as everything else. At least I don't feel like I'm going to cry.
Oh,
Finally, I glance at Aspen herself. Just like Juliet, I can see her eyes widen and mouth drop as she tries to think of something more to say.
And you knew, didn't you?
Her hand toys uselessly with an abandoned straw wrapper on the table.
I suspected as much, yes.
I sigh, not surprised at all. I don't even have the energy to be that upset compared to when I was dealing with Juliet.
I'm sorry,
It's okay. Juliet already said it.
Well, I'm saying it too. I'm sorry. It seems you probably didn't find out in the best way. Not that there is a best way. That was why we were afraid to tell you. We didn't know how... Actually, I'm just going to stop talking.
Really? It's fine.
I cut her off flatly before she can start over-apologizing. Being apologized to makes me uncomfortable, like an itch I can't scratch. Hi, how? How you feeling, Ma? Putting my chin in my hands, I look out the window to the sunny day outside. It's as nice as it ever is here.
I just wish you would have told me.
In her reflection, I see Aspen nod.
If it makes you feel any better, we were going to soon. We'd already decided, but not on how. I assume Juliet told you.
More or less, yeah. She said something that made me figure it out.
I see.
Both of them just accepted my being upset so easily. Neither of them tried to argue or anything, just apologize. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Just like I'm not sure if Aspen's words make me feel better or not. But also, I have to ask what I'm getting out of doing this to myself, and to her, and to Juliet. Sitting here silently, stewing in my emotions. What felt like burning rage last night now feels less explosive. I do wish they'd been more honest with me, but they were both just trying to be nice. It's not like I haven't done the things they were afraid of before, like run away. When that's the case, is it really okay to still be upset with them? Sorting through complicated emotions is difficult. I like when things are straightforward and I know to be sad or mad or something else. Right now, seeing how sad it's also made Juliet and now Aspen doesn't make me feel better either. If nothing else, I should at least tell them how I feel, or try to. Closing my eyes for a beat, I make my first real decision since leaving for Cosette's grave with Juliet yesterday.
Are you busy tonight? I want to talk with you and Juliet. Together.
She startles at the sound of my voice. I guess she didn't expect me to say anything else.
I'll be there. Just tell me when.
I don't know yet. I have to ask Juliet, but I'll have her let you know.
Okay, that works for me.
I stand up slowly, and Aspen does the same. I can tell from the way she's still fidgety and nervous, though, that something's bothering her. There's a tiny pop as she snaps the paper straw wrapper in half.
Can you tell me one thing, though? Are you leaving?
She's really worried about that, isn't she? I feel a bit more confident about one thing as I shake my head.
No, I won't go anywhere.
Oh, yay! Okay, we're all going to the garden. After getting back to the library, I made the same request to Juliet about being able to talk together. Not only did she agree, she suggested that we go somewhere else, just for a change of pace. We shared a quiet taxi ride up to the botanic garden, not far from Cosette's grave. Neither of us tried to talk, which suited me fine. I spent the whole ride trying to think about what I want to say. I imagine Juliet did the same thing. The taxi driver drops us off as close to the entrance as possible, tipping his hat in thanks as Juliet pays him before driving away, leaving the two of us mostly alone. There are a few people around, but more of them are leaving than entering at this time of the evening. One of those people, a figure sitting on a bench reading, stands up and approaches us. When they step into the light, it turns out to be Aspen.
It's certainly a new feeling to be the one waiting, instead of waited for. Hi, Aspen.
Good evening, Aspen. I hope we didn't keep you waiting for long.
No, not at all. Besides, I can hardly complain when it gives me an opportunity to catch up on some reading. I thought about exploring the gardens a little, but I wasn't sure I'd be able to find my way back out.
There are worse places to be lost, at least. Thank you for indulging my request to come here in the first place.
It was a good idea. Not to say the library's gotten boring, but...
We never really go anywhere else?
I feel better now than I did this morning. At least enough to make a couple jokes. A lot of things still weigh heavily on my mind, but I'm determined to not just be an emotionless rock. That wouldn't help anyone.
Precisely. I've never been here before either, so I'm eager to see the gardens.
It's been a while since I've been here myself, but I believe I remember a nice spot I used to visit with.
Instead of finishing her sentence, Juliet simply begins walking. Her cane makes a steady click-click sound as it taps against the stone path. Aspen reads off some of the signs that we pass by. Signs which I, of course, have never given a second glance at.
Stonebridge Gully. That sounds rather poetic. Perhaps I'll use it in a story sometime. Ah, Pine Hill Path too. Whoever named these gardens was having fun, weren't they?
Juliet still seems preoccupied, not ignoring us, but not seeming to pay much attention either. She does wait while Aspen pauses to read one of the big signs that talks about the gardens. She writes a little bit in her notebook and scurries back to us.
Sorry, one of the photos there caught my eye and I wanted to take some notes for further research. I hadn't realized there was more to this park than just this one garden.
Really? Like what?
There's an old estate for one thing. Also another garden just for native plants.
Ooh!
There's even a cemetery not far away that's apparently part of it.
The steady rhythm of Juliet's cane misses a beat, but she keeps walking. After a short uphill stroll, we reach our destination. A small brick path juts off the main road, leading to an overlook covered by a glass roof. There are a handful of benches around, but all of them are unoccupied.
Would this do?
Oh, Juliet, it's breathtaking.
They have to agree. Aspen walks slowly to the edge of the overlook, pressing a hand against the glass as she looks out over the view. I stand beside her and do the same. We're higher up than I thought, with a good view of the rest of the botanic garden from here. I even spot the main gate. Far across, the same rolling green hills that I noticed a couple days ago tower over us. Though she smiles, Juliet doesn't join us, instead sitting down on one of the benches.
Do you think
Miho. How does it compare to some of the sights you've seen?
It's pretty nice. I like the view from up on Mount Victoria better, though.
Oh, it's been quite a while since I went up there. Perhaps I should see it myself sometime and compare.
You should. You can see the library from the top. I used to go up there to clear my head before I started living at the library.
I'll be sure to invite you along, then.
She lingers for just a moment more, gazing out at the darkening sky, before taking a seat on the bench across from Juliet. Only I stay standing, pacing back and forth. Despite the pleasant chatter just a moment ago, now that we're all here and settled, both Aspen and Juliet sit quietly but expectantly, waiting for me to speak first. Since I was the one who asked them to come here, it falls to me to start the conversation. Where to even begin? I've been thinking about that all day, and I've decided that maybe I should just start at the beginning. The very beginning.
I never told you anything about my person, right? About Changin.
They both shake their heads. Taking a deep breath and clearing my throat, I close my eyes and cast my mind back to the forest all those years ago.
I was just a regular fox back then. I don't know how old I was. Foxes don't think like that. All we know about is eating snacks and lying in the sun. That was all I really did, all day long. No hobbies or jobs or responsibilities. Just existing. I knew what humans were in the same way I knew what leopards and bears were. Big and scary and something to avoid. It was rare to see one in the forest, but it happened. Most of the time, they were noisy enough that you could hear them coming from far away and hide. That was the first thing that was different about my person, Changin. I was taking a nap in one of my favorite spots, an old log that had fallen over. Changin came all the way over and sat down before they woke me up. And when they did, I panicked. I ran and hid as fast as I could. I think they were surprised too. They didn't try to catch me or stop me. Instead, they kept their distance and tossed me a little bit of the meat they were eating. I didn't trust them and didn't know why they were sharing, but it smelled pretty good. So I grabbed the food and ran away, and eventually they left. When I went back to my log the next day, Changin showed up again too. I ran away again, but they still didn't chase me and let me come back on my own. We did the same thing the next day, and the next day, and the next. Then, one day, I was in a new part of the forest. I liked wandering around even as a fox. I wasn't paying attention to where I was going, when suddenly, it felt like my leg was on fire. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I'd walked right into a trap that a hunter left. I couldn't move as much as I tried, and it's still the scariest thing that ever happened to me. I was sure I was gonna die. Finally, Changin showed up. At first, I thought they were there to finish me off. Instead, they were worried for me. They knelt down and got my foot out of the trap, and then wrapped it with a part of their shirt to stop it from bleeding. That was when I finally figured out they weren't going to hurt me. I kept going to the grove to see them, and they kept being there. I let them get close enough to touch me after that. Still, they didn't do it much. It was only to check on my leg and make sure it was healing okay. One day I went, and they were waiting like always, but they brought a lot more food than usual. And they gave it all to me, hardly eating anything themselves. After I was finished, we sat together for a while. They sat on my log, and I laid in the grass nearby. Finally, they got up like usual and set two things on the ground. One was a bag of food, the same as they had just given me. The other was a little paper scroll. They patted me on the head for the first and only time. Then
left our grove. At the time, I didn't think that day was anything special, other than the extra snacks. But it was the last time I'd ever see them. When I came back the next day, they weren't there. I waited, just in case they were late, but they never showed up. The scroll they left and some of the food were still there. Other animals had taken a lot of the food, but they didn't want the paper. I took the scroll with me when I left. I didn't know what it was.
I'm in a really
but it was
awkward
theirs, so
position
it
where
had
I
to be
want to
important.
end stream because I'm
My
eepy,
only
but
option
I'm
was
in a
to carry it
really
in my mouth. I went back again the next day, expecting them to show up, but they never did. I don't know how many more days it took before I realized they weren't coming back.
I'm in the middle of something. I'm pretty sure I'm in the smack middle of like in a very important part of the story.
Once I did, it was all I could think about. I kept
I hope you
looking
had
for
a
them,
sleep.
but I couldn't find them, as much as I wanted to. I didn't even know why I wanted to see them so badly. Just that I did. While I was thinking about that, I started to choke. Something came out of nowhere and was stuck in my throat.
There's the main character is having their moment in character development right now.
Finally, I coughed it up. A bead. I'd never seen it before, and definitely never swallowed it. I left it and went back to my den, but it was waiting for me there too. No matter where I went, it was always waiting. So finally, I touched it with my nose. Everything after that happened so fast. 1 second I was there, just a normal fox. The next, I was in this new form, not sure how or why. Some things came to me naturally, like using my new body and walking on 2 feet, and even how to turn back into a fox.
Yeah, they've been looking for... Miho has been looking for a human that she was indebted to for a very long time. And she just found out that they're probably dead by now. And she was mad at her 2 new friends because they never told her. And now she's kind of just telling them about how she became a gumiho.
But I still thought like an animal and acted like one. I didn't know any words that I could even think with. I had to learn those and all kinds of other human behaviors the hard way after getting chased away from villages and strangers that I met. Over time, I learned how to hide and blend in and steal and just how to survive. I followed Jungin's scent all the way to the ocean. I'd never seen so much water, not even close. I had no idea how huge it was. I boarded a ship like Jungin had, not knowing that it would take me somewhere different than the one they took. And I've been looking for them ever since.
Oh, hey, cat. Water, yeah. And now Miho is in Kiwi Land with 2 besties. When I open my eyes again, they're heavy with tears. But this time I don't try to hide them. I didn't mean to talk for so long, but once I started remembering, everything else just came naturally. Turning to face Aspen and Juliet, I see that they're crying too.
Oh, Miho. They sound like they were a wonderful person.
I can see why you never stopped searching for them. They were truly special, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they really were.
Yes, pretty women. Remembering how their hand felt on my head and the softness of their touch as they inspected my leg. Those thoughts hurt as much as the hunter's trap did. But also, they make me smile too. I've often worried that they might have forgotten me, but I don't think they did. They only knew me as a fox before I had any magic, so their memories should have stayed intact. Those days weren't long, but they were special. To me, and I hope to Chongin too. And so I don't want to let them become painful memories. I want to smile when I think about them.
Anyway, I'm sorry for getting so mad at you yesterday, Juliet. And for how I acted this morning with you, Aspen. I know that you both just
Petito
want to
asks
keep
why
me
I'm
from
still
getting
here.
hurt.
In front of
But
my computer.
that's another thing, too. It feels like you're always looking after me, or taking care of me.
Yeah, the woman
There are
on the
lots of
left is
things I'm still
Juliet.
learning,
The woman
but I'm
on the
not
right is
weak.
Aspen.
I've taken care of myself for a long time, you know.
Juliet is a vampire and Aspen is a human Hinoct.
So, I don't want it to be like that anymore.
I can no longer see the screen. No.
I want you to be honest with me from now on. Both of you. Even if it's something that would make me sad or
Gato
angry.
says it's bedtime. Okay, but Gato, Gato, I want to finish this chapter.
I promise that I won't run away without saying anything. I won't just disappear no matter what happens. Because if we're really friends, then we should trust each other, right? That's one of the things I've learned.
No, I'm almost there. I'm pretty sure I'm almost there. Having said everything I wanted to, I finally sit down, taking a spot between the two of them. Just like at breakfast every morning. For a second, why are you eating my pen? Gatito! I did not kirk it. I will kirk it now. Everybody stretch. And hydrate. Gatito, do not eat my pen. That's a very important thing. For a second, the three of us sit there quietly. Then Juliet begins to speak.
I hear what you say, Miho. And I agree. You're not the only one still learning things, you know? I have a long way to go to.
Good thing I turned my keyboard off.
For years, I felt it for the
But
best
he is trying to sit
remain
on it.
open, but guarded. If I maintained a comfortable distance, even from those I call my dearest friends, then I would be protecting myself. By never getting to know anyone too well, by withholding any meaningful details of my life, I thought to avoid the pain of loss again.
Jesus. She's just like me, for real.
But all I've done is keep myself from experiencing that joy of companionship again, while even causing hurt to others. I'm not too experienced when it comes to being honest to myself. Or perhaps only honest to a point. But you're right, Miho. That isn't how it should be. From here on out, I'll endeavor to be more open, more real, with both of you. For myself, and for you.
Juliet looks in our direction, but in particular at Aspen right now.
As such, Aspen, there's something that I'd like to tell you.
Oh, Juliet. She begins telling Aspen about Cosette in much the same way she told me yesterday. I sit quietly and think about what she said. Alright, we found out that Juliet had a daughter. And Miho obviously was like, oh, why can't we go see her? Why isn't she visiting you? And Juliet is like, yeah, let's go visit her. And they go to the cemetery. Hearing Juliet describe herself reminds me of me. In the end, we've both always been running away, haven't we? Despite how perfect and put together Juliet's always seemed, she's actually been struggling just as much. She was just better at hiding it than me. As Juliet recounts the vow she made in honor of Cosette, I see Aspen is listening with rapt attention, like when she gets really absorbed in one of her books. When Juliet finishes her story, both of them have to wipe their eyes. Aspen rummages around in her bag and pulls out a small pack of tissues, offering one to Juliet before noisily blowing her nose and wiping her eyes.
God, that's certainly a lot to take in.
You are so British.
Thank you for telling me, though. Cosette sounds like she was a wonderful person, just like Johnine. I wish I could have met her.
Johnine!
I wish you could have as well. She would have had endless stories to recount, and I know she would have loved to share them.
As for all the other stuff, first of all, I promise, to both of you, I want us to be truly friends as well. I don't have anything quite so dramatic in my past, but I certainly know how it feels to be performative.
Woohoo!
I can hardly fault you for curating your self-image when I do the same thing. It's kind of funny, actually, and a little scary to hear you talk about Cosette and Zhuangyin, because as someone who will one day be past tense, I often wonder about how I'll be remembered when I'm gone. Not that I expect that to be any time soon, but still, I hope that someone speaks of me just as fondly someday. There will be more than enough time for me to worry about that in the future, though. Right now, I'm glad we had this conversation.
Yay!
It was worth the near panic attack I had earlier, wondering what would be said tonight.
Me too. I still have a lot to
What
think
is she
about.
going to say? What are they going to say?
Fun.
Why are we being so formal about it? Where are we going? What is she going to say? Is she leaving?
But I don't want to be sad forever. I know it's not what they would have wanted for me either. But I do know that I'm lucky I met you too, and that you're my friends. I wanted to stay like that.
My cheeks burn from saying something like that out loud for the first time ever, but I like saying it because it's true. Although I'd already made up my mind to stay, it's sitting here in the middle of the gardens that I know I made the right decision. For all the doubts I had, all the struggles, I'm thankful that it happened, and I can finally admit that to myself. Maybe it won't turn out the way I expected, but for once I'm content with my life right now.
Well said.
Friends,
And
hey!
don't worry, Miho.
Even if it's not always perfect, it doesn't need to be. Just like Juliet.
Oh, Miho, I'm glad too. The first time you stepped into the Bell House was one of the luckiest days of my life.
All I have to do is keep trying, like Aspen. So maybe another first time would be appropriate. Hopping up from the bench, I grab Aspen's hand and Juliet's hand and pull them to their feet too. Yippee! And spreading my arms as wide as I can, I pull them both into a hug. Without hesitation, I feel them embrace me in return. From that first day at the cafe all the way to now. It's chilly out here in the gardens in the cool evening air, but it's warm in Aspen and Juliet's arms, and I smile to myself, and to them, and to anyone who may be watching.
Mine too.
Yay! Okay. I have finally gotten to a kind of sort of good place to stop, so I'm gonna end stream because it's almost time for another ad. God damn it. That's the wrong scene. Thank you for listening to everybody who is listening and lurking. I hope everyone took care of themselves and didn't push themselves too hard for the first part of the stream. And I hope y'all enjoyed listening to me yap and trip over words. Actually, I think I did pretty good this time. Maybe only 2 or 3 times. But we'll see. I still have to look back. We are going to go to Otters and we will continue the... I think I will probably just continue this game and do like long form for Monday and Wednesday, so it'll be the same game. Please be happy on Wednesday. And we'll see what ending I end up getting. Thank you for coming to stream. Until I see y'all next, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe, everyone. Lesson of the stream: to die is human, to live is a privilege. Good night.